Hi guys and welcome to another Fool of the Week. This week's Fool is our old friend Nick Ferrari of LBC. So he took a call from a guy called Chris who was talking about allowing asylum seekers to work. But Nick doesn't agree with that and instead he wants to send asylum seekers to Scotland. Have a listen to this.
Why do we not let these people who are here now work? Because at the moment all they end up doing is they're not working in cannabis farms or nail bars or where get massage parlors, whatever it is.
That's rewarding illegality, Chris.
Well, no.
Sorry, what are you talking about? Rewarding illegality. So you're talking about asylum seekers who have followed the rules so far, and now they're working in the black economy, and you're saying, well, if you allow them to work in the normal economy, if you allow them to work legally, that would be rewarding illegality. So I don't know how you come to that conclusion. How can making somebody work legally reward illegality? By doing nothing, you're rewarding illegality. Now, I keep saying that you need to go after the businesses, not the asylum seekers. The asylum seekers are working because there are jobs available, and there are jobs in the black economy where they have no protections and they're getting paid lower wages than if they were working normally. Well, if you allow them to work in a regular way, they'll be paying taxes, contributing, and they won't be a burden on the state. And you will be rewarding legality, not illegality. How do you come to the conclusion that you're rewarding illegality by allowing people to work? The only conclusion I can come to is Nick Ferrari thinks that it's illegal to cross the channel and put in an asylum claim. Well, that he's wrong.
Well, no, Nick, it's happening anyway. If we allow these people to work, they have to pay tax.
I don't agree. I don't agree. They arrive.
So you would rather they carried on?
No, they arrive and they go to the windiest island in the Shetlands. I don't know where they go. They go to a fairly inhospitable part of the United Kingdom, and off they go to special camps there, and that's it. While they're processed, preferably in under 6 months. You find a fairly unfashionable, rather grim part of the world, almost uninhabitable a part of the Shetland Islands or Orkneys, and you put them there. No one will want to cross. No one will be sitting in Calais saying, "I tell you what, I want to go to an inhabitable part of the Shetlands."
70% of asylum claims are successful. So why does Nick Ferrari want to punish people who are normally successful in their asylum claim? We're talking about a small minority who are unsuccessful, and generally what happens to them is they're deported. So we're talking about the vast majority of people who are successful in their asylum claim. And Nick Ferrari wants to make their lives miserable. For what reason? Because he thinks it will discourage them from coming to Britain. But if their situation is worse where they are, then of course they're going to come to Britain. But they don't want to stay in France, for example, or they don't want to stay in Belgium, or they don't want to stay in the European countries. They want to get to Britain because they have family or some connection to Britain. That's why they want to get there. It doesn't make any sense for them to remain where they are. That's why they're risking their lives crossing the channel. And this idea, once again, if 70% of the claims are successful, then how is telling them we're going to send you to Scotland a disincentive? And also this, why is it English nationalists have such contempt for Scotland? We need to dump people in Scotland. We need to dump our nuclear weapons in Scotland, even though they don't want them. It's like, we don't want these things. Well, you're getting them anyway, because Nick Ferrari has decided. You know, there are people living in the Shetlands. There are people living in the Orkneys. So I'm not sure which islands he's talking about. But even if he were to dump people on some uninhabited island, well, it would be more expensive to keep them there. Like the caller is talking about allowing people to work where they can contribute. Nick Ferrari's response is, no, we need to put them on an island where there is no infrastructure. We need to build the infrastructure, which is going to cost a lot of money. Then we need staff and facilities there as well, which is going to cost a lot of money as well. And we're going to keep people there for 6 months, where in 70% of cases, they're actually going to be successful. Where is the logic there? Where is the sense in that? It's just, I need to appear tough in order to discourage people from crossing the channel. But once again, if 70% of cases are successful, they have a legitimate claim to be in the country, sending them to Scotland for 6 months is not going to cut it. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.